Starting tonight, August 26th at 10 p.m. Pacific Time, the live servers will go down for maintenance, and we'll be getting everything we've been playing since the PTS launched last week. This includes the remaster of Erangel Season 4, as well as the Survivor Pass 4 Aftermath. But there's much more to this patch, so let's dive in and take a look at everything that's included. Like I said before, this maintenance is going to start at 10 p.m. tonight, August 26th, and it's going to go until August 27th, 4 a.m. So that's a 6-hour maintenance time for this patch, but it's a pretty big one. During this maintenance, the test servers will still be up, so feel free to go back on the test servers, play some games, if you're waiting for the live servers to come up. And by far the biggest thing with this patch, the biggest thing that we're going to be getting, is the new Erangel Remaster. Erangel is the first map on PUBG, it's a classic, it's a staple to the game, but it definitely hasn't really aged that well. It doesn't look great in a lot of situations. If you look at a map like Vikendi, Erangel looks like it was made about 5 or 6 years ago. So it was due for an upgrade, and with that upgrade they're actually changing some things around. There's new compounds to explore, new terrain, all new landmarks, just a lot of cool stuff being added along with those visual upgrades. There's also new overcast weather on Erangel. So now if you get the overcast weather variant, you can get heavy wind, hail, light rain, heavy rain, which includes lightning and thunder, and then of course fog. They've also added some more destructible objects on Erangel. Things like pylons and barricades have been added to the map, and you can actually blow right through those, and there's actually some hay bales in fields kind of like by Yasnaya or Pachinki, but watch out because not every hay bale can actually be destroyed. It's just the ones that are like in a cone shape. The ones that are rolled up, stay away from those because they still hurt. But overall, with my time on the test server with this patch, I definitely like the upgrade to Erangel. It really looks great to me, and I really don't have anything bad to say about it. It ran really smooth. I didn't notice any terrible frames or anything like that, and I was in some pretty congested areas. And just overall, the look and feel of the map is just miles ahead of what we had before. I feel like even the color palette changed. It's much more vibrant. It's just better to play. It feels like a more modern game. But with this patch, we also get Survivor Pass 4 Aftermath. Unlike the PC version of this pass, we only get 8 weeks. I think the PC got 12 weeks. So 4 less weeks is definitely concerning to me. Will most people even have a chance to get to level 100? We'll just have to wait and see. Maybe they have something in store for us. Maybe they'll give us some extra levels, or there'll be some kind of event where we can earn some XP. But I don't know. I don't know if we're going to be able to actually get to level 100. One thing I did notice from playing on the PTS, it did seem like the missions actually granted more XP than usual. So maybe that's their way to kind of balance it out. But it's going to make getting those missions even more important every single week. But like I said, there's 100 levels and 100 rewards to unlock. But brand new to this Survivor Pass is the addition of the cooperative mission system, where players can work together to complete mission goals and earn rewards. You can view the mission progress gauge on the mission tab and receive rewards when each step is completed. So once as a community we complete a certain amount of missions, everyone that's participating will be granted a cosmetic item. There's 5 phases in total, each with a unique reward upon completion. So hopefully we can all get out there, complete some missions, and level up this pass. They also made a change to how you can actually switch out some of the missions. You can swap out up to 3 daily missions per day for free, just like you could before, but now BP can be used to swap out additional daily or even weekly missions. Players who complete all 3 daily missions can use 1500 BP to get a new set of daily missions to complete. So this is one way that you can kind of make up the gap of those 4 weeks. Just try and get as many daily missions done as you can if you have the time, and you'll be able to earn a lot more XP than you were before. Just like before, there's additional premium missions and season missions, so you'll have to decide if buying the pass is the right thing to do for you. But if you're deciding to buy the pass and you don't already have the G coin that you're going to buy it with, then what I would suggest is to buy the supply pack for season 4. For $10, which is what the pass actually costs, it gives you 1600 G coin and a full cheerleader outfit. So I don't really care about the cheerleader outfit. I'm more interested for $10 to get the 1600 G coin, and that's because you can actually use 1000 G coin to buy the pass, which then just gives you 600 G coin left over. Along with this update comes a new season, this time Season 4. We just got done with Season 2, and now we're skipping Season 3 so we can kind of sync up Survivor Pass 4 and Season 4 all together. Plus, PUBG Corp wants us to get in line with PC. They want to keep us 2 weeks behind the PC as far as the updates come, and so it only makes sense to line up the seasons, just make sure we're on the same number as them so there's no confusion. At the start of Season 4, 1000 SP will be distributed to all players that had a game history from Season 4 preseason. The career stats from Season 4 preseason will be reset once Season 4 officially begins after this update, and SP gains have been increased significantly in Erangel, Miramar, and Vikendi to make SP earned more fair across all maps with a similar time played. So I guess Sanak was earning more, and so they had to increase the SP gained on the other 3 maps. But now let's get into some gameplay changes. PUBG Season 4 is bringing a rebalance of a lot of weapons. Overall, we're seeing a nerf to the ARs and a buff to the SMGs. But let's get into it. As far as the buffs go, they increased the base damage of the Kar 98 from 75 to 79. They increased the per pellet damage of all the shotguns 2 points. They increased the effective damage over distance for all SMGs, and they slightly increased the damage multipliers for SMGs, the torso, and the limb modifiers. They increased the damage multipliers for crossbow, I don't know who really cares about that, and they made a slight change to the laser sight attachment with pistols. Shooting with pistols will now be 70% more accurate when a laser sight is attached, if you're not aiming down your sights. But let's get into the nerfs. So before I mentioned that they increased the base damage of the Kar 98 from 75 to 79, well, they reduced the base damage of the M24 from 79 to 75. It's an attempt to balance those weapons out. If you're hitting headshots, it's not really going to matter, but if you're hitting the body, this is where you could see a difference between those two weapons now. The M24 still has its benefits. It can hold 7 rounds, it shoots faster, it has a faster bullet velocity, and the Kar 98 you have to kind of play for bullet drop, but you'll do a little bit more damage. They reduced the base damage of the barrel from 47 to 46, reduced the base damage of the AKM and Groza from 49 to 47, and they reduced the base damage of the M4, G36, QBZ, SCAR, and AUG from 43 to 41. This is all in an effort to basically boost up SMGs, nerf the ARs a little bit. They want to balance out the game a little bit more, make SMGs more viable to use, especially in close quarters where they're supposed to be. But I don't know how this change is going to affect anything. I really didn't get a ton of time to play with a lot of these ARs on the PTS, so I'm just going to have to wait to formulate my opinion on that. And they also reduced the maximum bullet travel distance of all shotguns from 1,000 meters to 150 meters, so that was just obviously broken. The duckbill attachment now distributes bullets vertically instead of horizontally. Crossbow will now have a visible tracer following the trajectory of the bolt for easier aiming. And they added a top rail to the Uzi to allow red dot and holographic sight attachments. And I can just tell you right now that the Uzi is going to be a lot of fun to play with now that it can hold a red dot. I hate iron sights, I don't like shooting with them. I mainly just shoot over the shoulder if I have iron sights because I normally play in third person. But I attached the red dot to the Uzi and I was playing with it a little bit on the PTS. And that thing will just melt people close up. So I'm definitely liking this change and it's a welcome addition in my eyes. There's also some vehicle balance updates. They improved the handling of the rear wheel drive vehicles. They improved the stabilization of the regular and 3-seater motorbikes. They increased the maximum speed of the scooter from 90 to 105. They greatly improved the handling of the buggy and increased the buggy's wheel durability by 50%. They increased the max speed of the buggy from 92 to 115 to 100 to 125, and that of course is not boosted and boosted. They increased the health of the UAZ from 900 to 1200, increased the health of the Tuckshy from 500 to 1000, as well as increased the max speed of the Tuckshy from 70 to 85. Don't get in the Tuckshy, just don't do it, it's not worth it. They decreased the health of the Murado from 1000 to 900. All motorbikes will now consume roughly 50% more fuel than before. They decreased the acceleration and boost multiplier rate for the Dacia. The maximum speed will stay the same, it's just going to take you longer to get to that maximum speed. Driving off-road with vehicles is going to be harder to control now, and the Dacia and Murado will go 15% slower when they're not on the road. They implemented new buggy and Murado sounds. They removed the visual effect when boosting, and actually removed the booming sound you would get when you boosted a vehicle. They improved aiming while inside vehicles to be more steady, and I can for sure say that that is a true statement. And they improved the first-person perspective camera view inside most vehicles. Now let's get into some new vehicle features. They added auto acceleration to vehicles, identical to the auto run feature that you would have if you're just running. Auto acceleration can be activated by double tapping the right trigger, and that will make your car just continually go faster. They added a locking mechanism to the BRDM. Only teammates will be able to enter the BRDM if you're inside. When all teammates exit the BRDM, it will unlock, allowing any player to enter. They added a car audio feature to play preset music while inside a car. Only the driver can control this feature, and car audio will stay turned on even after the players exit the vehicle. Turning the audio on and off while inside a vehicle will play random music every single time. You press right on the D-pad to activate this and deactivate it, so it will turn on a song, and then it will play, and then you can actually push right on the D-pad to stop it if you want. The music will stop after a full song has been played, or the music can be stopped by destroying or flooding the vehicle. And last thing on the vehicles, vehicle engines can now be turned on and off by pressing left on the D-pad. The engine can be turned off while driving after gaining momentum and can be used for quiet tactical maneuvers. Once the engine is off, pressing right trigger to accelerate or pressing left on the D-pad will start the engine again. Vehicle engines will automatically be turned off if the vehicle stays at a standstill for 8 seconds or 2 seconds after the driver disembarks. We'll have to see how this is actually used, if people decide to use this as a tactic, but I have a feeling people will still hear you coming unless they're just not paying attention. There's been some improvements to the healing and boost item usage. Healing and boost items can now be used while moving. You'll be limited to walking speed only, but you can move around freely while you're healing. You can press X at any time to cancel the heal so you can move faster, or you can run or jump to cancel the heal. Bandages have changed as well. Bandages will now be used continuously until a player fully heals to the maximum of 75% health. You don't need to actually select the bandages over and over and over to heal up. Once you select it one time, it'll just automatically do it for you. First aid kits can no longer heal additional damage you receive after the healing starts, so before you would go up to 75 even if you got damaged while it was healing, but now that's going to stop. And medkits and adrenaline syringes now stack in the inventory rather than occupying one inventory space per item held. They adjusted the friction force of throwables to make rolling movement more consistent and predictable. Smoke grenades' friction force has been increased to slow rolling speed and cause them to roll a shorter distance after impacting surfaces. Stun and frag grenades' friction force has been decreased to speed up the rolling speed and increase distance they can travel after impacting surfaces. So you might have to get used to the frag grenades and how far you actually have to throw them to hit somebody, but we'll just have to see how this change impacts the game. Visibility of all sight and scope reticles against bright backgrounds such as Vikendi snowfields has been slightly improved. There were some Erangel blue zone balance changes as well. The size of the safe zone in early phases has been reduced. Blue zone waiting time in early and mid-game phases has been reduced. Movement speed of the blue zone during some mid and late phases has been decreased, and the blue zone waiting time for the final phase has been reduced. There's a new item in the game called the turntable, and this works like the radio but it's inside a building. If you find one on Erangel, you can turn it on, and the music can be heard by all players, so only really use this if you're trying to push a compound and you don't want them to hear your footsteps. I don't know, it seems kind of useless to me, but it is what it is. And thank goodness they finally reduced the volume of Vikendi's ambient wind noise. That was really loud at all times, it seems like, when it was the night version of the map, so I'm happy to see that reduced. They've added some in-game HUD improvements as well. Helmet and vest health is now better visualized on the UI, along with backpack capacity. So you'll see the little pictures down at the bottom of the screen. The backpack will fill up with white, and you can tell when you're getting full, and the helmet and vest will actually go from full white, and they'll decrease down to red. So you'll know just how much of that helmet you have left. Also, the weapon firing mode is now represented visually by icons instead of text, and I like this because it's always there and you can clearly see it. Instead of saying auto, single, or burst, it'll have a grouping of bullets and you can see clearly if it's one bullet, a burst of bullets, or full auto. Alright, and finally, let's get into the performance. Map loading speed has been improved. Improvements have been made to reduce instances of hitching or stuttering, and they optimize the calculation of character movement outside the player field of view to improve performance. The spectate feature has been re-enabled for custom matches on Xbox, and hosts will now be able to spectate custom matches again. But they did mention that this is an interim feature, and they're working to add a more stable and robust spectate feature within the few coming updates. And now it's time to play everybody's favorite game, the fixed an issue drinking game. So every time I say fix an issue, you have to take a drink. That's the rules. I don't make them up. I just play by them. But really, there's 36 bug fixes here, so I'm not going to go over every single one. I'm just going to call out a couple of them that I think are important. If you want to find out everything to know about the bug fixes, check out the link in the description for these patch notes. You can go through every single bug fix and read fix an issue 36 times for yourself. Here's a big one. They fixed an issue where charms would sometimes cause the game to crash. Thank you. They fixed an issue where care packages could fall outside the playable area. They fixed an issue where the aqua rail speed in reverse is almost the same as going forward. They fixed an issue where footsteps can be heard from dead players intermittently. And they fixed an issue where the BRDM can sometimes sink when called in using a flare gun above water. But that's going to do it for this one. A lot of stuff to cover, a lot of stuff to actually take in. But this is a really exciting patch. Erangel Remastered looks great. Like I said before, I played it on the PTS. I didn't get as much time as I actually wanted to, but I'm excited to see it go to the live servers. I want to play solo, duos, and squads. I don't want to just be limited to solo and squads, so I can't wait. Besides that, I'm really excited for the new Survivor Pass. It just gives us something to do. It lets us shoot for something, and I'll be interested to see if they're going to do something that will help us get to level 100 since we only have 8 weeks with this pass. But let me know, as always, what you guys think in the comment section below. Did you play on the PTS? Did you like the update? Were you having problems, or did everything seem okay for you? Remember to like the video if you found it useful, and subscribe to stay up to date on everything that I publish. Follow me on Twitter at YTBoris15. But thanks for watching. With all that being said, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Until next time, I'll see you later. Oh my god. Wow. There's a baby in this room up here, and it scared the shit out of me. Holy crap.